And thank you for watching. Our today's walk-in is Erika from your Daily Boost 365. Hi, Erika.
Hello, how are you? My new friend.
Thank you. It's really Jamaican way in a lot of those countries. They say friend, which they mean it this way. This is the way they talk.
Yes.
It's like because you just say it feels confusing in the beginning when you're from America, you're not used to that. But if you talk with a lot of people from different countries, you understand that's their way to talk.
Yes,
So you
exactly.
probably did you pick it up from there?
Actually, I think I picked it up from my mom, who was from another country,
Oh,
though. She was from South America.
okay. Yes, that's where they do as well. For the viewers, we just go right into conversation, as you know. So that's how we do it. Uh, I had one friend from also South America, and they always say beautiful when they talk with somebody.
Oh,
They say
yeah.
my beauty. They also say my beautiful friend.
Yes.
And
Yes.
at first it was like so weird that they kept on saying it. That person was saying it. Then I remembered I had another friend, and she was like long time ago. She's still my friend, but I haven't seen her for a while. But she was talking the same way. She was saying like my beautiful friend, and they just that's the way they talk with people.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do believe they mean it too. It's genuine that you are beautiful and that you're a friend,
Yes.
beautiful heart,
Yeah.
beautiful face, everything, right?
Yeah, they just don't say it. But they say it to the people because they don't look even like how they look like outside.
Right.
They mean
Yeah.
beautiful from like inside, and that's the
Right.
way they mean the beautiful. They mean the inside beauty of the person.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So that's how it is. So your podcast is your Daily Boost 365.
Yes.
Tell us
Yes.
more about your podcast.
Sure. So it actually started from our book that is getting ready to be published while we are speaking. So we
Mhm.
wrote this book, and it's 365 daily mantras to transform your life and your business. And then we're like, you know what? We should have a podcast where we take parts of our book and we elaborate on them, because a lot of people are stuck with a lot of mindset issues, right? A lot of
Mhm.
fears, things like that. So we elaborate on them and give people like some things to really think about that they can change in their life and in their business, really around mindset and daily actions and why they might not be doing things. So that's basically what it is. I think it's very, very powerful. We've had a lot of great feedback on it. It's still relatively new. We just added the video. It was just our voices. So now you can
Mhm.
see our faces now, and people have, reached out to us. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you talked about, attention deficit disorder in adults, or fear of
Mhm.
failure, fear of success. So we've had a lot of great feedback. So we're excited for some more feedback.
Mhm. Exactly. And I like how you pointed out, let's talk about a little bit this, why people don't do things.
Oh yeah.
Did you
Oh,
already had this episode?
we did. It's powerful because, I work with with business women, right? And a lot of times they're putting things off, right? And when we dig
Mhm.
deeper, it's a lot of fear, truly a fear of being successful or a fear of rejection. And we realize that there could be things that happened when we were 5 years old, that someone said this one
Mhm.
thing to us, and it's made this imprint in our noggin. And now we're taking it and we're 50 years old and we still can't talk to someone or make a phone call because we're so afraid they're going to think we're stupid because someone when we're 5 said that to us. So a lot of it has to do with things that happened before, and realizing because one person said something negative, there's still a
Mhm.
whole world out there of people who aren't going to say it, but who need to hear your message so that you can bless their lives and you can be blessed. So we talk a lot about that, that fear. Oh my gosh. Have you ever had that happen to
Mhm.
you where you held on to something since you were a little girl?
Yeah, I had some of something, but I got over it as well. When I say the way, it's not even just a little girl, but now I learned as well, now as an adult,
Yeah.
when somebody says something and doesn't, I know it's not true.
Right.
I to let it go instead of catching on it, because one
Yeah.
thing that happened to you when you were little, but now daily basis, somebody says something
Mhm.
like about you, and you might take it and you believe it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That letting it go is hard for so many people, but
Hmm.
oh my gosh, isn't it powerful? So just think, oh my gosh, that's silly. That's not true about me. I'm not this. They must be bananas or whatever. And not
Hmm.
holding it on is a powerful tool and a powerful gift that we can give ourselves too, right? Because otherwise, man, think of all the stuff time we waste dwelling on things that somebody said, you know?
Hmm. But it gets stuck if you don't do it consciously. It just gets stuck in your brain and it
Oh,
just rolls it. Like,
yeah.
and some people really, really get into it. They're like, "Why did they say it?
Oh,
What did
yeah.
they meant with it?" Like sometimes
Mhm.
there's comments that people make that are not even for them or don't
Right.
mean anything the way they say, but people
Right.
take it out of the context and make something personal out of it.
Yes. Mhm.
So, what do you advise for that? How do
Oh,
people
yeah,
like
exactly, and
not
that's a
take
very
something
dangerous
personal?
thing. Mhm.
How do you take?
Exactly.
How do you don't take things personally?
Well, so my podcast partner, my business partner as well, has this powerful saying, and it is, if you love yourself, why would you hurt yourself?
Oh,
And
I
so you
love it.
can take that for many things. Like if you're like me, I like to eat chocolate. You could do it for that, but you can also do it for words, right? And so if you're taking on these words and then the effect is something negative that stalls you or whatever, or you start thinking, oh, is this true about myself? You say to yourself, if I love myself, why would I hurt myself? Because if you keep replaying that and replaying it, and now you can't leave the house or, like I said, make that phone call or do your business, that's not loving yourself, is it? It's truly
Hmm.
hurting yourself. So that's one of the mantras, is repeating that. I repeat that to myself, and that's what I encourage others to do. It's powerful. It's a very powerful statement that makes you stop and really think. So that's what I do myself.
Hmm. Say it again one more time.
If you love yourself, why would you hurt yourself?
Hmm.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good tool to use,
Yeah.
and
It's
so
worthwhile.
easy as well.
Yes, yeah, and sometimes it's those really simple things that can make a world of a difference, where we might have thought, "Oh my gosh, I need to do all this stuff and this and this and this before I can ever tackle it." But truly, just ask yourself that. Just ask yourself.
Hmm. And the answer should be clear that you have to love yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
And so what if somebody else doesn't? It doesn't matter, does it?
Hmm. I always say the same way, that just don't take the other way as well. You don't take it personally, because usually it has something to do with the other person. It has
Right?
nothing to do actually with you. It has something to do with, not even usually, I would say 99% times, it's something to do with the other person, their personal things,
Mhm.
and they saying it to you, but they actually have some more, oh, their own personal
Yeah.
problems or something that
Mhm. Mhm.
apply to you.
You're right. Their own baggage, their own issues, and they're just trying to
Mhm.
push it on you. So don't take on other people's garbage.
Exactly. Well, Erica, you moved from America to Jamaica. How
Yeah.
long time ago?
I would say I started the process in October, and then it's a lot of red tape to move here. And then there's a lot of shipping of things. So I would say, like, really officially in December.
Oh, wow. So that's just recently.
Yeah, yeah, it's
How
pretty
did they
new.
make that decision? I want to talk about how people make a decision of moving to a different country.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it goes back to the, if you love yourself, why would you hurt yourself? Right.
Hmm.
So in America, I wasn't a lot of pain. My body was really hurting. I literally could go to the grocery store. So you drive to the grocery store, you walk around, and then I'd have to sit in my car. I couldn't walk anymore. I was in so much pain. I was
Mhm.
on pain medicine just to do that walk in the grocery store. Okay.
Mhm.
And then, so I reconnected with my podcast partner, right? And we were talking about my medicine and stuff like that. And he's like, I think it's making you sicker. And I
Mhm.
got off of my 18 years of pain medicine in 4 weeks. Now, listen, if anyone's listening, don't do that unless your doctor knows, and don't
Mhm.
copy what I did. My
Mhm.
doctor understood, like we worked through this, and it was withdrawals and it wasn't fun, but I did it because what I noticed is that when I came to Jamaica, I could walk and
Mhm.
I was healthier and happier and I felt different. The air is different. The food is organic. I was a new person and I
Mhm.
wanted more of that, right? I wanted to
Mhm.
be like that. And to be able to walk like up a hill and to be able to walk was a big, big thing for me, and just the feeling.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'm going to come here. First I said, I'm going to come every other month. Then I'm like, that's it. I'm moving here. So
Uh-huh.
now I'm here
Yeah.
and still off of my medicine and still feeling great. And it's like a miracle to me. And I just feel much better. And then I would say that I said my mom was from South America, but I grew up very poor. And my mom, the only thing she could afford was cans. So I had a lot of processed food and things like that. And now we don't eat that here in Jamaica. They don't have a lot of processed food.
Mhm.
But I noticed when I go back to America, the aisles of the grocery store, oh my gosh, it's so different than Jamaica. And it
Mhm.
kind of makes me sad, and I realize when I go to the grocery store here, if my kids are visiting, I'm buying all that same junk that I bought in America, all the cookies, all the stuff, and everyone else is buying fruit and
Yeah,
and other
normal
things.
food. Mhm.
Yes, I'd
That's
say
sad as well. When I go to a grocery store as well, like I see the aisles and aisles of just not, it's not even, I don't even call it food.
no.
So I
Exactly.
learned just the little things that I go and get, but all those most 90% of the things in the store is not even food.
It's
It's
crazy. And you know what? I have a dye allergy. And in America, just for example, the macaroni and cheese that a lot of children eat has yellow dye in it. That same
mhm.
exact brand in Jamaica has no dye in it.
Oh
And
wow.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. Like
I
they have a lot of more British UK stuff that doesn't have that in it.
hmm I've heard that a lot of like other countries they had the same product but completely different ingredients in it than in America.
Yeah, even the Pepsi and the Coca-Cola,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have the corn syrup in it here like they do in America. It's like what are we doing in America? It's a
Mm-hmm.
people and the thing is I didn't even realize it, to be honest. When I lived in America,
Yep.
I didn't. If you don't know, you don't know, right? You just
Yeah.
switch to
That's
live.
why I think most people don't know, and that's why they have like weight issues and they have health issues
Yes.
because of the food, and it's we know it's because of American food. Because if you go outside of the country, if you ever go to outside of country, you see other people don't have that kind of body issues, and they
Right.
don't have this kind of health issues. So it's
Exactly.
not about the American person; it's about people who sell that to them.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And you know
So
what
I
else?
don't blame the people who like they have some weight issue. I don't blame them because they don't know better because this is what they sold.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what else I realized was inflammation. I had
Mm-hmm.
so much inflammation in my body and it was really the food and all
Mm-hmm.
of that. So and never in a million years would I think I was going to have a conversation because I love to eat candy and all the
Mm-hmm.
chocolate and all of
But
this.
that's
I realized. Yeah.
But that's a little bit different as well. Like a lot of candy probably that you eat Jamaica, that's candy that you can eat. Like you eat it not as much, but again, it's not like American candy
Right.
when it's just pure
Exactly.
sugar or something. It's a little bit
Mhm.
different, and even portions are smaller.
Oh, yes. That is the thing too. That is a big thing. The portions are smaller of like the processed things. But when you go to a restaurant, even their fast food restaurant, they eat a lot of rice and peas here and chicken. They call
Hmm
it a warm meal and a vegetable. those portions of the vegetables are bigger. As with in America, we would get a little of this, and then we'd
Mhm.
have the big carbs, right?
Yeah.
They seem to have it down pretty well on that. I'm assuming a lot of other countries do that as well. They have a pretty balanced, and they're not. And one more thing is that when I see the kids walking around the town after school, they're not eating the chips and the
Mhm.
fries like they are in America, right? I see a water bottle and I might see chicken or something
Mhm.
else or banana chips. So
Yeah,
it's
and
just
they're not snacking all the time. In
no.
America, you're supposed to be like, it's kind of like everybody thinks they always have to have some kind of drink and a snack in their hand, and they have to constantly eat. And it's actually not normal to do that. And you're in different countries, you see people don't do that.
Yes, and the coffee, the amount of coffee, the fancy coffee in America that we see everyone walking around with, I don't see that here.
Mm-hmm.
They do have that store, but I don't see like I do. Everyone's always like, I'm going to get my coffee and I'm going to Target or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
not so much that here.
Yeah. So another question as well, and if you didn't, then say honestly that you didn't, but maybe like a lot of people they have this thing or they get it from some other people from with moving.
Yeah.
Did you have any fear?
A fear? Well, I thought not
Or
really. I
maybe
don't
you
think it was a
didn't.
fear. I had to sell most of my stuff. Oh, sorry. Say it again.
I'm saying like maybe you
The
didn't have
audio cut
any
out.
fear.
Can you
I
say it
know
again?
some people are scared to move and some people are not scared to move. They just go right into it.
It wasn't a fear of moving. It was just what I realized that when I had to sell a lot of my belongings and give away a lot of my things because I was asking myself, see, I do love to shop too, okay? Why do I have so much stuff, like so much material items? It was almost sickening. It was so much. But
Mhm.
sometimes I got to something and I thought, oh, I can't get rid of it. I have to ship it to Jamaica. And then I would put it to the side and I would think, this is so stupid that I've got to bring this thing. So it was a lot of mental things on why am I holding on to things? Oh my gosh, I totally shop way too much. It was a more of a like, oh my gosh, I have a lot. It was kind of overwhelming. Then you go through
Mhm.
like these stages, like, well, that was stupid. I wasted $30,000 at Macy's for what?
Mhm.
It was a lot of that kind of stuff. For me, it
Mhm.
was like, wow, I really need to stop shopping
Mhm.
and buying so much stuff. Not that my house looked junky or anything, but I do think in
Mhm.
America, we have a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
in Jamaica, the house is more minimalist. We don't really have all that. So that was a big shift for me. But I will say that I was, it was a little bit of, I need this stuff. I need this stuff.
Yeah.
But that was really it. Not a fear of moving, not a fear of a new life, none of that. Just, this is a lot of stuff. And it really
Mhm.
makes you think. And I'll say to people, let me tell you what you do. You ship a barrel. So it's like a rain barrel. Okay. So imagine putting all your belongings in a rain barrel. Like think, what would I really take with me? And that'll
Mhm.
really open your eyes to the amount of excess that you might have. I mean, I had the
Mhm.
biggest yard sale of yard sales and the amount of jewelry. I love jewelry, but it was
Mhm.
like so crazy. No one could believe it. They're like, "Did you have a jewelry store?" I was like, "No."
Yeah. But what happens in America as well, because there's nothing else to do for people, and what they do on the weekends, they go and shop. While in Jamaica, you can go outside and as an adult, not just kids, but you can go
Yeah.
outside, you could like walk around, you communicate with people. There's like
Yeah.
walking culture where
Yes.
where you go in the areas where everybody goes for walking and you
Mhm.
all walk around, you talk,
Yes.
you have conversations.
Yes. Yes. It also, I lived in New York City when I was a little girl, and I feel like it reminds me a lot of New York City. We walked a lot, and it's just very similar. We didn't have a lot of excess in our homes,
Mhm,
maybe it could have just been the era. That was the early 80s, but that was before Amazon and all the shopping online.
mhm,
But yeah, it's just a very different life. And although there is Amazon here, it's a
mhm,
little different process. And I love Amazon, but I realized that I would just put stuff in my cart and buy
mhm,
it so fast. Everything is just fast in America, fast shopping.
Mm-hmm.
You have so much access. Whereas here, if I need to get something, like we do events, if I need something, I really need to plan out what store I'm going to go to, when I'm going to go. I have to have a driver to bring my stuff back home because we don't have a car right now. So it's a lot more thinking. Whereas in America, it's just like, oh, let me just order that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, it'll be here in an hour, or it'll be here
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow. So really thinking about what you're spending your money on it's made a big difference because I haven't been shopping so much.
Mm-hmm. And usually, what at least what Europeans do, instead of that shopping and all that thing, they save the money and they go travel.
Yes. Well, I'm
Yeah.
traveling right now. So we have parishes, like different areas. So we say I'm out of parish. So I'm in Kingston right now at Airbnb. So we do travel a lot around the island, go to different resorts. So it's pretty cool life,
Mhm.
I must say.
Yeah, and that's why you use your money instead of going and like buying stuff, which is
Yes.
like plays around your apartment, and you
Yes.
don't really enjoy it. Only that joy that when you were getting it,
Right.
that momentary joy of it. But
Yes.
the real joy of actually being active, Americans don't get it as much
Right.
when you
Right.
live here.
Yeah.
And when
It's
you're born like that, you don't even know that that's possible.
exactly. And think about it. Somebody said they were from another country. They're like, you have a store that container store where you sorry, my internet went out. Sorry about that. You have a store where you buy containers to put all your stuff in because you keep buying more stuff. And at first I'm like, yeah, we have that store. I love that store. But then I really thought about it when I was packing. That's what we do. We buy our bins and we put our stuff in it, and then we just go buy more stuff. How about we just stop doing that and we start really living? Because your stuff can control you if
Hmm.
don't
Yeah.
get a handle on that.
Yeah. And the buying things as well.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's
what is
cool.
it filling a void of too? So text Roy, one of my podcast partners, he's like, Erica, you shop when you're happy and you shop when you're sad. He's like, you shop all the time based on emotion. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm like, oh yes, I do. Yes, I
Mhm.
do.
Because like I'm saying, like if you don't have anything else to do, and that's what happens in America, a lot of people don't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
And that's where the shopping comes in because
And let me
that
tell
gives
you
them
that
something to do. Yeah.
exactly. It's a very big habit because even you're not going to believe this. As I was even sorting through my house, okay, to get all of this stuff ready to ship and have the yard sale, where did I end up? At TJ Maxx. I couldn't believe it. I was in there. I love TJ Maxx. And I bought 5 necklaces. And then as I was in line, I'm like, this is so crazy. This was just a habit. I was at the computer
Hmm.
store. There's TJ Maxx. Let me go buy some jewelry. And then I said to myself, that's it. You cannot come back in the store until you've done everything you're supposed to do, get rid of stuff. And I haven't been back since. It was an eye opener. And who buys
Hmm.
that many necklaces at one time? I mean, come on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's cover one more topic that was
Yeah.
for me was interesting about you was that dyslexia.
Oh, yes.
Right? We hear that word a lot, but we
Mhm.
really don't. I really don't understand. Like I know what it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm interested about hearing from you. What does it feel like? So you open that. What's it? You open the book, and what do you see?
Well, so sometimes people might not even realize that they have it, and most entrepreneurs there's a lot of entrepreneurs who are dyslexic. Like the whole panel of Shark Tank is dyslexic. So let's
Mm-hmm.
say if you open up the book and you're reading it, though, you might this is what I compensated with and my children. So let's say you see the beginning is TH, right? And you see there's some letters and then there's an E at the end. So you might just say, oh, that's probably this word, right? So you're
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting the gist of everything, but you might not
Mm-hmm.
be getting the full thing. That's what the way I have it. Okay. The other way I have it is they'll say, I'm going to type a post for social media. And I type it and I read it and it makes sense to me. And I read it 5 times and it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I post it and my friend will message me, hey, Erica, that's not how you spell that. Or, I
Mm-hmm.
can't see it. You can't
Mm-hmm.
see it. Sometimes even like I use Grammarly and other things. Like yesterday, I spelled entrepreneur wrong, but Grammarly did not pick it up. I spelled it some
Mhm.
crazy way that apparently made sense to the software, but it was wrong. So for me as an
Mhm.
adult, it's kind of hard because then other people are going to judge you because you see in like a lot of women's groups that they're the punctuation and the
Mhm.
police, and they're like, oh my gosh, can you believe I hate when people misspell this? And I say to them,
Mhm.
hey, not everyone can see that they're spelling it wrong. So
Mhm.
it's very hard for me because I can't see it. But what
Mhm.
I tell people is that it's my superpower, right? Just like a lot of
Mhm.
other people have, because I'm not strong in that area. I can be stronger in other areas, but it is a lot. And I must say, I've done a lot of work to advocate for schools. My older daughter in kindergarten, I told them that she had dyslexia. Nobody believed me. We got to
Mhm.
middle school and I said, my daughter has it because I'm thinking, surely they can't tell me. Hers was she reversed B and D and 3 and E. But she
Mhm.
also would read. And if you had to read out loud, she would, it wasn't what was really there. Like even if you had to put her
Mhm.
finger on it. And they told me, oh, we don't say that word here. I said, what do you mean you don't say it? We don't say dyslexia. We don't label anyone. I said, well, if we don't label it and we don't identify it, we can't help. So I spent a long time and she advocated as well. They do say it now.
Mhm.
And now there is help. So she got help in ninth grade. Ninth grade, that's
Oh,
how long it took.
yeah, 9 years. That's not.
Video went out.
That's
Sorry. And
crazy.
then I'm not sure if it's my
No,
internet
that's
or
fine.
yours,
If
but it
it
glitched out.
happens,
Sorry
that's
about
fine.
that.
I understand
Um,
all that. For the viewers as well, she's in Jamaica, so the connection there is a little bit different. So,
Sorry,
but you
guys.
come back.
Sorry.
No, you come back on, so it's all good. Well, one thing as well
Okay.
that I'm talking, you talk about dyslexia and those grammar police. You know how it is.
Yes.
But for me, it's different. Like English is not my native language, and
Right.
my grammars in English, I never even learned grammar from school or something. I learned it on my by myself and everything it is. But my grammar is not good, and I'm a writer, and I wrote a book same
Nice.
way. But the thing is, like what you tell to those people, and what usually grammar police is, those are the people who like the grammar. They don't care about the writings, or they don't care about what you write about.
The
Like they
content.
want
They don't care
you
about the
to
content,
write a
right?
book. And those people, I always tell, they're the perfect editors.
Oh, yes.
And I tell
Yes.
them, like, this person has changed whatever they're doing, become an editor. They love grammar. They love fixing other people's mistakes. I
Yeah.
love using them. I love the editors because they fix my grammar mistakes.
Yeah.
They love doing it. And that's
Mhm.
how it is. Some people
That's true.
just don't have the grammar, and some people just love it.
Yeah.
They're passionate about it. They will, like I say, like whenever I see like one of those grammar polices, I just make a comment that like, become an editor, you get all the
Yes.
mistakes you can enjoy.
I love it though because you turned it around because they're like grumbling and it's like, wait, hold on. You can really have a great job doing stuff we love. So I love that you turn it around for them. I'm going to have to remember that, when
Yeah.
I haven't seen any in a while, because I do say I'm dyslexic out loud. I do say it on my
Mhm.
emails, everything, because it was actually hurting my feelings a little bit when people
Yeah,
were
it
saying that
does.
because I can't help it. I thought it was good. I didn't see it. It's like being colorblind, right? And being mismatched.
Hmm.
You don't know.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
it's even, but for the kids, for your daughter, did she figure you figured it out for her, right?
I did. And then, but the problem was because she did not get help until ninth grade, she had a lot of compensation skills. So it was hard for her to unlearn everything that she did to compensate, but she did it and she graduated with honors. Now I have another daughter who I told the same scenario. I even noticed in preschool. And I kept telling everyone, and hers in third grade, they finally believed me. We got the testing and got it done. But the thing is, I'm telling you, I had to get lawyers. I had to hire advocates. I had to learn about a 504 plan, an IEP. I had to
Hmm.
learn so much just to get my children help. And it was so sad because so many kids will fly under the radar because they were labeling it as you're stupid. Because I kept telling the middle school, hey, she's dyslexic, I'm sure. And they'd say, oh, no, she can't be. She's on honor roll. And I'm like, well, that doesn't have anything to do with it. I said, have her read out loud, have her write. And get this, when we were in school, spelling counted. But because they don't take off for spelling, look at how many kids are flying under the radar. Oh, no, they have great grades. But if you really look at it, are they spelling correctly and using capital letters? And they're not, but because it's not part of the rubric and it doesn't count, nobody's noticing. And that made really sad for me and for others, parents. I'm telling everyone, hey, check your kids' work, because you might be surprised, because most of the time parents just go off of, oh, it's an A, yay. But they're not really looking at it. And my older daughter advocated in front of the school board, and she said, listen, I was so excited to get an A. But when my parents looked at it, I had 36 spelling errors. And she said, if you don't tell me that I spelt it wrong, it's like you're hiding it and making me feel like I should be ashamed. Tell me that it's wrong and show me how I can do better. And it was very powerful when she said that, and she was like in sixth grade then. So,
well, probably let's not focus on a parent right now. I would want to point out how could teachers help somebody in a classroom with dyslexia?
I would say, even if your rubric doesn't call for spelling, look at it. Look at that work and see, are there Sorry, I saw that. Okay, sorry about that. I would say that for the teachers to look through the work and really look, is there are there spelling errors that you could identify? Show the children like, hey, you did really great content. However, there's these spelling errors. And notice if they're reading out loud, pay attention. And if you look at the same content and you put your finger on it and look word for word, are they really saying it? Or are they saying something that could be similar? So that's what I noticed with my kids. So that's what I would say. And that's what I beg teachers to do. Please just do that. And I think they'll see there's a lot more kids than they think that do have dyslexia or specific learning disability, as some areas call it.
And how do you say how to interact with the kid to make her you don't want to make the kid feel bad about having it.
Right.
So how do you talk with the kid and try not to make them feel bad that they have dyslexia?
From the teacher standpoint, you say, or from a parent?
From the teacher.
From a teacher, I would always, like the Oreo cookie part, right? Say all the good things, like you're so creative, which most dyslexics are very creative, right? I would talk about all the great things and then say, I've noticed a couple of things. We're going to look into this further and it's not a big deal. We're going to maybe get some special extra time with me or with Mrs. So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, and we're going to work on this. And remember that just because we have some spelling errors or we think differently doesn't mean it's going to impact anything that we do in our future. And if you do know that it's dyslexia, you can talk about Einstein or what's the guy from Virgin Airlines? I can't think. Russell Brunson. No. What's his name?
Branson. Yeah.
Branson. Yeah. Sorry. You can talk about all these great people who had dyslexia who've done amazing things. And tell my kids it's your superpower because you're really great in so many areas, and it's not going to stop you.
Exactly. So that's important to know for our parents as well, that it's nothing wrong with your child. They just do things differently.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So what's going to be something that's coming up in your future, or future plans with the podcast or something interesting?
Yeah. All right. So the podcast, the book should be out shortly. I just actually, before we got on, I noticed it's going to publish. We do host events in Jamaica. So in May, we have a women's entrepreneur retreat. And in October, so you can meet us live, right? And in October, we just have a Jamaica cultural experience where we're supporting small businesses, and you get to meet us as well, and chat. So we have that. We also have guests. We're going to open it up to guests, so we'd love to have you on. We're going to have guests coming onto our podcast to share their insights on some nuggets that will help you to transform your life and your business.
Mm-hmm. I like the retreats, that three things. So it's in Jamaica. Do people have possibility to come to Jamaica and stay there for it, or they have to be living there?
No, you could come fly to see us. Yeah, so no, you just fly into Montego Bay Airport, and our retreats are located in Montego Bay. So it's just a short ride from the airport, and we take care of everything for you. So it's the only thing we don't take care of is the flights. So we just ask people to book their own flights, because everyone's got reward points for this and that, but we handle everything once you land. We get you from the airport to the resorts, to all that. We handle everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful
And for the
experience.
viewer, all the information is in description. The links and everything is in description, so you can look up the website and see what is going on currently. If you're watching a replay from year from now, there's probably some kind of other events and new things going on as well. So definitely look in from that website.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I think we had rather interesting topics that were, for me, those were interesting topics about you when I got to learn about you and your website. Anything else that you want to point out about yourself or your podcast? Something else interesting that I didn't bring out?
So I would say the audio went out a little bit. I would just say that
Oh, I see what you're
I would
saying.
just
Work
say
on
that
it.
never
Oh,
let your circumstances define you or define the future. Oh, we got a delay. Sorry. I would say never let your circumstances define, your future, because anyone can grow up anywhere. Like I said, I grew up very poor, but I was able to, create the life of my dreams, and anybody can do that. So don't let a disability, anything define you. You've got great God-given talents and gifts in there for the world to see. So I would say just keep shining on and create the life of your dreams, because life is short and you do not want to live with regrets.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
One thing that I do with all my guests as well is I like to have ask them, what makes you happy? Not what people think happiness is, or what the general people say what does that makes people happy, but what makes you, Erika, happy?
What makes me, Erica, happy is connection. So connecting with people, whether it's a quick chit chat, a smile, just energy from others, that makes me happy.
Mhm.
Like
And some,
this makes me
yeah,
happy chatting with you.
exactly. Oh, me too. I love chatting with people. So, and that's probably why that's most of the podcasters that I talk with. That's
Yeah.
what they love. They do it because they love it. Other things are all on the side, but why they actually do it because they love the communication. You're right.
Exactly. Because you can learn every day. Every day. I say you're one question away from a lot more knowledge or a bigger bank account, right? So, ask questions and connect. That's the key
Yeah.
for me.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank
Erika. It was a
you.
good
Oh,
conversation.
yes. I've
Um,
enjoyed getting to know you. I feel like I have a new friend, a real
definitely.
friend.
Yep. So, for the viewers as well, go to the description, go to Erica's website, and see what else you can learn from that. Sign up for their podcast
Yes, please.
and listen to a few of the episodes from there. Might be something perfectly for you.
Yes.
Usually, what usually happens? You click on something random and it's special for you.
Yes.
That's how it
Exactly.
is. Like, oh, that
Exactly.
was especially for me. Even if you think that you randomly selected, you find out there was actually special message for you.
Exactly. Love it.
Good.
Thank you again for having me. I've really enjoyed chatting with you, and I can't wait to get to know some of your viewers as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and go have fun and enjoy your day. Bye.
Bye.